Hello everyone, Bill here again. In my next installment here of the Bible 101, I'm actually going to talk about something that is not something so much as the Bible itself, but something that very much affected the Bible and eventually came to the Bible. And it is the invention of the printing press. The printing press was a phenomenon for the Bible and eventually for all written language around the world. The printing press, as we understand it, was invented by Johannes Gutenberg. Now, he was the inventor of the printing press, and it was a revolutionary for its time because it was the first time where you could have movable type. Now, again, we don't think about much of this today in the 21st century because print, as they might say, depending on who you're talking to, is going out, and now everything's becoming ebooks. Well, the thing is that for the last 500 years, it was the way to do it all. And what it is Johannes Gutenberg, basically he created a series of letters imposed upon a piece of lead or brass or tin or whatever they had around, and then eventually he be able to make it movable, and then in turn make printing or make production like that cheap, economical, and then repeatable. Again, we don't think about much of this today, but it was a phenomenon back then, and it was basically a quantum leap for all education, a quantum leap for all books, and eventually books became so cheap that the common person could get it if they wish. What also became out of the printing press and the invention of the printing press, it now became much cheaper to educate people in learning how to read and write, because they could print up a primer or a workbook, and then eventually they could print up 100, 1,000, or 1,000,000 of these. And then again, it became a whole lot cheaper. And eventually this was the first step in what we would later come known in history as the Enlightenment period, or basically the first major break in breaking of the Dark Ages and coming out of that. And this allowed ideas to be transmitted, and allowed ideas and inventions to go forth, and basically education. And it was all due to Johannes Gutenberg. Now, what it is that he came out with the printing press, again providing what biographer you're talking to, around 1450 or 1455. This printing press eventually, when it first came out, could only print a page or two. Eventually, it got big enough to where they could print 4 pages. And this was absolutely essential in the history of the Bible. Now what they could do is, rather than handwritten out Bibles, which were very long, very laborious, and very expensive, now they could print the Bible at literally a tenth of the cost and virtually cheap. And now you could print it, and no longer have to worry about a handwritten version of it. Now, I'll get into the legality of it later and stuff like that. I'll get that in another episode. But the thing is that now this was revolutionary for both the Bible, for Christianity, both the Catholic Church and the Protestant Reformation, and eventually all Protestant churches to follow. So again, a key moment in the history of the Bible was the printing press. Eventually, there is a book that has been, or a translation of the Bible, although it's not really a translation. It is called the Gutenberg Bible. I've had the pleasure of seeing one in a museum once. And it's put down in either 42 or 47 lines. And again, this is what the Bible was, and then it became very essential for the common person to read and own. So there it is. Just wanted to finally bring out the printing press. It was literally the large cornerstone to the dawn of the Enlightenment period. It was what we would know today as the printing press, movable type, and basically education, reading, and of course, again, the Bible. So thank you all, and see you all next time here. See you all next time.